Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. So on the north side is the red Tughlaq Dynasty. I still don't know how to properly pronounce that. So on the south side as the Cyan Malians, we have a foreign name. Let's see, map generation. One thing I noticed, well, Cyan has both his wood deposits pretty close by each other. This gold deposit is going to be pretty safe, but his other gold deposit will be up front. This wood deposit is along the corner. And if you want to go for trade, you've got a relatively safe one here. And that should be a decent trade route. Just need to clean up this wood to make a straight line. Deer deposit from this deer deposit somewhat safe with the line there, but his mining pits, only one would be relatively safe here. When it comes to red and his map generation, all of his wood deposits spawn off the side, so you can't get a nice little safe zone here. Deer deposit that mix. A large number of small trees help mix in this area. Oh. Looks like the work elephant's also collecting some sheeple there. Did not realize he used the work elephant like that. What's the vision range of the work elephant? I don't seem not exactly sure. Suppose if I were to turn on the fog of war, not too great, honestly. Just used to pick up some sheeple. Red is now getting the Tower of Victory up and going. And looks like actually Red's going for a decent amount of stone. No, Tower of Victory's actually been a while since I signed upload in the field. I think it's the first time I casted the Tughlaq with it, which improves the attack speed of elephants produced within Sphere of Influence, rather than all infantry. Monster Quarry now going on up. But since Red's going for a bit of stone, he looks like he may be eyeing for a secondary town zone turf relatively soon. Or maybe the fort. Guess we'll wait and see. With him collecting out that much stone and no wood, looks like he's going for a fort. And pulling the fort somewhere over here, looks like. Going to see what governor he will go for. Montecore here. No military units just yet by the Malian player. And let's slow down. Let's see, the fort. It is currently being upgraded. It has been selected for the governor of Barak. Each farm and house in severe influence, probably going to go for housing relatively soon around it. We'll provide the 12, 20, or 28 food, and this is the first upgrade for it, so should be up to 20 food per minute per house, which is pretty nice. Mining players going for more mining pits there. We do have some stables, or a stable point of field, going for the warrior scout upgrade. Upgrading vanguard scouts to warrior scouts, but no real military presence on the field. Maybe he's going for professional scouts, the current rate. First house going on up. Of course, the first tick will it activate? Nope, since the house is not fully built. So good to know, scaffolding does not count. Some precise questions like that is important. If the scaffolding did get a work, then you can quickly lay down scaffolding and worry about building them, finalizing them later. In this case, it doesn't, so no cheesy play there. What you would expect is the case. And like I said, that small thing does make a difference. We do have a raider elephant. Raider elephant pursuing the warrior scout, which does not have full force movement speed. Raider elephants don't even have heavy cavalry movement speed. Of course, they do look like a decent amount of charge range. When the housing start gets set ablaze, we do have some sofas and donzo. With the Tower of Victory is now scattered out by red or by cyan. Probably a good idea to go for a healthy number of donzo. Right now, plus 55 food per minute. That does not seem right. Should be 20, right? Either way, Should be 20 per housing if I'm reading that correct. Either way, the warrior scout does take a bit of damage there. Raider elephants do have a slight bit of bonus damage versus structures. If I say slight, I mean greater than torches. They have the same melee attack for units as well as for structures. In comparison, this does do 13 damage, while this course has 18 damage at a 0.75 attack speed, which is very fast. After all, torches do attack at 2.12, while this does have the... Oh, no, I'm reading the tile range. Does have the... It looks like it's actually 1.12. I think that's the faster attack speed for the building there. It could be a charge attack. I honestly not too sure. They all look the same to me. I really wish they would say Tusk's melee and say anti-structure as a little blurb there, or charge. Just little bits of tidbits information of, does that mean structure or does that mean charge? Either way, Spearman gains in Donzo. Donzo is superior to Spearman. They have more health and armor. Now, Javelin Throw does bonus damage versus Cavalry, but no additional bonus damage versus Elephants. But still, 14 damage per attack. The Javelin Throw is still pretty nice. It does do range damage, so the higher range armor will resist to a certain extent, but not entirely. More farming research there. Okay, right now... Alright, it looks like it does do ticks in form of every 25 seconds, so I was expecting even number there. Or, not 25 seconds, 15 seconds. Good number of spearmen there engaged in the sofas. Well, I should get some more housing. Might as well maximize as soon as you can because of additional food income. Sofas and warrior scout being pursued. Does try to engage the Raider Cavalry individually. Raider Cavalry's course is effectively most similar to a Gilded Horseman. Though it feels like it's stronger than Gilded Horseman overall. Don't have exact side-by-side numbers in my head. Granted, it is far slower than a Gilded Horseman. Sofas and Warriors Scout heading down south. Got the Grand Flauny Corral now being flown in the field. Good number of Raider Elephants and Hardened Spearmen. Right now, Archers will probably be best since all the Dons on the field. Down south, we got the Raider Cavalry pushing the way forward. House of Learning is also queued on up, which will give them access to 6 unique technologies. These Raider Elephants are heading back up north. Grand Fulani Corral now deployed on the field. And looks like we've got all 20 pieces of beef in the cattle ranches. Those trucks are going down very quickly. Donzo's getting an excellent volley there. Takes out one of the Raider Elephant. Donzo overall just a great option right now. What other elephants can you get in the next age? I apparently misclicked the click on the stable. Of course, you got Standard Lancers, which is not get affected by the Tower of Victory, and the War Elephants, which are heavy armor as well. Excuse me. You can get a former Tower Elephant, right? I can't remember. Forestry range, course can get... Nope, no Tower Elephant. Oh, good. Either way, now the veteran Raider Elephant pushes the way forward, trying to trample some of these villagers. They do have a trample ability they can try using against those villagers. Though it is 4 damage of 0.5, so 12. I wonder if it gets resisted by orc melee armor. Could be very nice. Help trample all those villagers. Doing a good job of taking out some of those villagers there. Red elephants have right now 1 melee, additional melee armor, or 4 additional range armor. Veteran Donzo deployed in the field. We got the veteran, or the Sofa imported armor. Veteran Sofa, veteran archer. A number of these units there. Only one fort. Sort of wish these forts had their own unique icon on the map. They're important enough, I would say, that would warrant that. Currently, this fort is providing 200 food per minute, which is a very nice extra surplus. Right now, we've got 30 versus 32 villagers. Red did kill off 2. Also got a bit of help for Jen here. We do have the poison arrow research now being researched by the Malian player, which may be somewhat useful versus all the elephants. Though I'm overall not a big fan of poison arrows, because usually units are either alive or dead. They're rarely in between for the poisons to actually take effect. You have some man-at-arms now pulling the field by the Dynasty. Nothing fantastic about them. Those just heading down south. They did collect a bit of venison there, and they were also collecting a bit of berries. Elephants were rotating around. Here. Do they produce imams? Yeah. So that means eating boar is haram. I don't know why I second guessed myself there. Because after all, Tughlaq Dynasty is supposed to be one of the Indian variants, or should I say Hindustani variants. After all, India was never not known to India as India until 1947. And it was largely viewed as some variation of Hindustan. And I was curious of when they would consider that religion as opposed to Islam, which would allow hunting for boar. We now have the mosque going on up here. Maybe eyeing for some relics, such as this one here. Decent force here. We've got 49 versus 49 units. Got 6,000 versus 5,500. So they're still pretty even at this moment. Though there's a lot less red elephants, more man-arms and crossbowmen. Crossbowmen going to be good only against the Sofa. Good number of archers by the Malian players. Sofa is a good generous unit there, but he's fighting against a good number of spearmen now. So I don't think the Malian players are going to win this fight all too well. Got a decent line of crossbowmen over here. Do actually Sign pick up that relic. Sign may be able to grab that relic right there, which would assume to be hardly contestable. Apparently it is. Some of these villagers are being trampled by some raider elephants. Looks like some Donzo is sticking behind to cover the retreat of the other units. Raider elephants could be picked off by the Sofas. Bit of a spear bracing on those Sofas. Good number going down. The Sofa composition right now just not going to be super useful against the Tughlaq Dynasty since he has spearmen, crossbowmen. His archers, of course, would be nice versus the spearmen, but not versus the handful of man-at-arms are mixed on in. Some Musafati warriors may be a good idea to start mixing on in, but it looks like it's just over Archer Sofa for the Mullen composition. Fort of the Hunters, so it looks like the Malian player is actually aging up to age 4. Does let them out how to upgrades on the great elephants, so they do move at pretty decent rate now. A similar rate to sofas and warrior scouts. You have a spring gold here. For the hunter still being built. Rez could try interrupting it. Sofas charge away forward, archers engage the crossbowmen. It becoming a very messy very quickly. The elephants could try trample on top of these villagers back here. Spring gold needs to be just during the attack move forward. Good number of science villagers are going down, so it doesn't have too much military force. The fort of the hunters is actually being interrupted. Looks like the fort of hunters has completely stalled out. There are 3 villagers there. Science now 34 villagers for 63. He still has the grand full on a corral for a good amount of income, but Science is very far behind when it comes to civilians on the field. Big ground civilians, nearly all of them remaining, trying to finish the fort of hunters, who's taken quite a bit of damage. Down to below to 2,000 health. Maganel fires a volley there on the crossbowman. Red has some reinforcements coming in, including 4 war elephants, which will require Moose Fighting Warriors or Donzo. Donzo will probably be better in this situation. 4 of the hunters has been completed. Villagers get inside of it. We'll have a good number of poison arrows to these war elephants. You know, I don't think the last time I've seen war elephants against Malians. Signs down to 25 villages he needs if he get replacements town centers. But nearly all of them weren't collecting. 26 villagers, 5 population siege weapons. Not looking good for the Malian player. Currently has only 2 mining pits on the field, which not all of them are encompassed all the way. So that will be fixed shortly. 4 of the hunters needs a better repairs. He has some wood to work with. Maybe, yeah, task 1 village to get some repairs going. I wonder if he has the repair upgrade. Nope, not just yet. It's an upgrade that he tried to avoid needing to utilize. One of the few times it will actually be useful. Got some Musafati gunners. Actually, Sign managed to get 4 relics, which is very nice. Palace of the Sultan now being deployed on the field over here, which will provide appoints a governor to the Palace of the Sultan and immediately provides a 4th tier benefactor. Max out fort. And since he's pulling her out right next to the Tower of Victory, something devolves to aura, it looks like. You have to wait and see what type of governor he's planning to go for. Yeah, I do think the Malian player needs to squeeze out a secondary town center. Actually, we do actually have one here, so it has 2. Maybe a 3rd, which will require wood and gold. Malians don't require stone for it. Is that a good or bad thing at this moment? Stone's available. Why a bad thing at this moment? So far, some Musafati gunners. Yeah, I actually really don't know the last time I've seen war elephants versus Malians. I don't think I already cast Delhi versus Malian all too often, in which I feel like Malians will have trouble with war elephants overall. Musafati warriors is the counter as well as Donzo. No crossbowmen. I have no faith in poison archers. So yeah, I think we need to see more Donzo in the field. Donzo at least are beefy enough to deal or be superior to the spearmen and be at least decent enough versus the man-at-arms. That little bit of armor does make them go a longer way. And of course, Musafati Gunner is a good journalist unit in this situation. The mill has gone down. Right, it's not going for too big of a military force. Going for elite elephant raiders now. What governor did he go for? I see a bunch of This symbol here reduces the cost of research and technologies by 35%. And that would be, of course, that one there. So, discounted research, which is probably a great thing to have access in this age. Able to get all the university techs for cheap, not to mention elite upgrades. And all the blacksmith upgrades, just get all the upgrades for a pretty impressive discount. Very nice to have. Do have a, yeah, still just the 2 pit mines in the field. Remember as well, the monster core still provides +1 right there, even though it doesn't actually provide +1. Madrasa now deployed in the field. Is it Madrasa or Madrasa? I have no idea. I always have trouble splitting up some of these words that are in forward. Sacred sites have been obtained by red. Villagers here being intercepted by sofas. A very nice pick there. Right now the sofa's doing 21 damage per slice. No textile, so 3 slices and the villagers will go down. We do also have now the elite sofa upgrade on the way. Elite Rider Elephants push forward. Right now they offer 28 damage. That's very similar damage to Knights. I think Knights have, what, 29 base damage? Of course, they have a bit more melee armor, but they don't. These Raider Elephants cost wood. Yeah, I'm really curious why the Malian player's not going for heavier Donzo. Seeing all the Raider Elephants, we definitely should go for Donzo. And with our cast division, we see Spearmen and Raider Elephant. So Donzo will just be excellent situation. They're superior to the Spearmen and hard counters to the Raider Elephants. Mustafadi Gunners push forward in camouflage. Ambush push forward. What was that? It looks like the trample ability there. I saw the buff there. Try and trample all through some villagers. Textiles have been researched, very important. And the Red Elephants are backing off. They took a bit of damage there. Right now, Sign does have a much higher armory value and has a couple of 55 villagers. Well, I should just look at the total income now. 1,400, 15,000. Let's just call it even 3,000 across the board versus 18. So that's 3,000, close to 4,000. So Malians still has 3/4 economy of the Tughlaq Dynasty. Well, Tughlaq Dynasty has a third more than the Malians. Red Elephants, of course, a counter to the Gunners. The Gunners like hit everything. We got the Governor Jawler, and as well as looks like biology research. So these Raider Elephants are particularly healthy. These fighting Gunners are just getting stampeded. One Don's on the field right now, wherever he may be at. We do also have the Naza training, production speed and damage versus cavalry increased, which is nice to have. There's a Donzo there. Only 1 inherent armor. Of course, being near the fort of the Huntress will give him a bit of temporary stealth as well, even if not the Musavadi warrior or unit. Basic walls being established. And another pit mine there as well. Sign probably needs to start putting make a push for that stone. The only place generating a decent amount or not stone, gold. It's generating a decent amount of stone, has decent amount of stone here. Maybe save up for 2 keeps and keep this secured of 2 keeps. I think 2 keeps would be needed at this moment in time. Red Elephants particularly healthy. Sporting a large amount of health. They may not have the same damage as Knights, nor same attack speed, but they certainly have the bulk to them. And also slightly higher speed now. Red Elephants looks like going to be eating some cows. Looks like the elephants are want some burgers today. A bit of cow tipping has commenced as well. A couple Donzos intercepting. Still no elite Donzo just yet. And now the raider elephants are backing on off. Over here, we got more raider elephants, a handful of supporting spearmen, gunners, and Donzo straight forward. No surfing gunpowder at the moment, but Musfada guns do have higher base damage than regular hand cannoneers. Elephants stampeding the way forward. You now have the former leadership increasing the speed of these gunners, able to kite a little bit better versus the elephants. Mangonels and Springbolt engaging this formation. Get some good hits there. More elephants advancing here. And looks like all the sofas go down, and looks like Cyan has resigned. And Sandgrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.